Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program. This is Sunday Politics on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimbaloye in Lagos. There is frenzy yet again, and the political atmosphere is getting heated ahead of some governorship elections slated in Edo and Ondo State. Come September the 19th, the people of Edo State will go to the polls to elect the governor, who will lead them for another 4 years. In a matter of days, the political parties will conduct their primaries to determine their flag bearers ahead of these elections. Well, let me show you first and foremost, for the People's Democratic Party, the aspirants there gunning for the ticket of the party. Two of them were screened physically, and one of them was done, the screening was done virtually. And you can see that. The aspirants who had is screened virtually. Kenneth Imaswagbon joins us on the program. Mr. Kenneth Imaswagbon is popularly called a rice man. He's a philanthropist, educationist, and a lawyer. He will be seeking to be Edo State governor for the 4th time. Thank you so much, Mr. Imaswagbon, for joining us tonight on the program. But it's interesting that you're perhaps, unfortunately, caught up with the coronavirus outside of Nigeria. Isn't this a major blow for your primaries and your election bid?
Thank you so much, Sheon, for having me in your program. How are you doing, Sheon? How is your family, your wonderful family doing?
Thank you. We're well.
Okay, now to your question. I traveled on the 15th of March to see my family and to see my business in the United States of America. And I was caught up with the coronavirus. Well, we've survived it. The world will survive it. Nigeria will survive it. I must quickly say the Buhari administration did well. You know, I'm not his supporter, but on the supervision of coronavirus, we monitored, we prayed for Nigeria, and I want to say congratulations, Nigeria, for the actions the president took. But beyond that, I think on coronavirus, I am okay. I've done my test, COVID test, in one of the best laboratories in the world. By April, I did my first major test. I was tested negative. On last week, I did 2. Monday last week, I did 2. On my way to Nigeria, I was specifically told that before I can come to Nigeria, I need to do my COVID test, and I was negative. I got to the UK 4 days ago. On Friday, I did the third test. I was negative. Of course, I was negative because I followed the rules. Stay away from, observe social distance, wash your hands, wear your face masks, and isolate. And to that extent, I am ready to come back home and to participate at the primaries of our great party, the PDP.
What confidence do you have in the process, in the PDP, for example? You were a financier and one of the, perhaps, the supporters of the backbone of the AC then. Before you moved to the PDP at some point, you went back to the APC and back now to the PDP. And you have complained bitterly about internal party process. But in the PDP where you are now, what gives you the confidence that things will be done properly? Because this is what you have always campaigned against.
Absolutely, Sean. I'm confident now that things will be done right because of the leadership of our national men and women in Abuja, of our great party, the PDP. Kudos to Sekondo Suchi, wonderful guy, and the NEC members. Our governors, PDP governors are wonderful governors. You've got the likes of Wike, Tambo, Fintiri, Okowa, Udom, wonderful people. They want a free and fair primaries in Edo. Secondos have read the Riot Act that he wants a free and fair primaries. Now, Edo is for PDP to take or to lose. Our actions are inaction leading to the process leading to the primaries, and the primary itself will determine whether we are going to win. Of course, we know that APC is in tatters in Edo. The center is not holding for them. trouble everywhere, everywhere. I pity APC. Of course, the electorates have made up their mind that giving a free and fair, credible primaries that will produce Kenneth Imaswangbon, they will vote PDP. And by God's grace, I assure you, Sean, this is my fourth political journey, wanting to govern Edo. I've seen battles in the course of trying to be governor. I've engaged armed robbers, I've engaged kidnappers, I've engaged traders, merchants, political merchants, people who doesn't like men that are talented like me. I've engaged all sorts of things, but this time around I believe in my God Almighty, and I believe in Secondus, the NOS, and the total package today as we have it under the leadership of Secondus. I know I will have a free and fair primaries, myself and my two other colleagues. It will be free and fair, and whosoever wins under that umbrella called the PDP, under the umbrella of free and fair primaries, we will defeat APC. APC is gone in Edo. I have been in opposition all through in Edo. I have touched life. Edo people are yearning and begging for Imaswangbon to have the ticket. I wish by God's grace, by the time I get the ticket, APC, they know that time is up. This is my red card for the APC administration. Obaseki, my governor, thanks very much for the job you've done in these 4 years. But this job you've done is not good enough. And now, by the 19th, when I emerge, the time will be over for the APC administration.
I'm very certain that you're very much aware, of course, you know a lot of the politics of Edo State. There is a man from the Central Senatorial District of Edo State right now at the helm of affairs. And there are a lot of thinking now that your party is in fact thinking in that direction, that any candidate that will emerge on the platform of the PDP should be a candidate from the Central. You are not from the Central. You are from the Southern Senatorial District of Edo State. Is this a major worry for you?
Not at all, Sean, but a point of correction, respectfully. Obaseki is from the South, I'm from Central. I'm not worried at all because I'll take you through history. In Edo, we are one people. There is no Central, there is no South, there is no North. What we have is a united Edo State. We have one father, the Omonoba. We all take our root from the Benin Kingdom, the Great Benin Empire and the Great Benin Kingdom. We are one people. No division, no division, no division. However, if we go down the lane, Isha, where I'm from, they will argue we're minority. Yes, though we are minority, we are what I call, we are minority majority under the PDP. Since 1999, no Isha person from our senatorial have served as governor. But for Osumbo time was short-lived, about 12 months. You can't say that 12 months in 20 years, we have had a fair share. Justice and equity therefore demands that now Edo Central should have the slot. When I was a child, in the old Bende State, Professor Ambrose Ali of blessed memory is from my senatorial. He won the election. When you had the Benin, you had the Jos. The Jos are the fourth largest ethnic group in Nigeria. But Isha won the governorship under the Professor Ambrose Ali then. Osumbo, in his 18 months or 12 months, he won the election. Even Oshomole won against General Charles. General Charles lost the 18 local government to Governor Shomole. So the Beninese are not tribalists. They are wonderful people. Yes, they are our big brothers. They love ability, talents, potential, and those who can perform. In 2012, I defeated General Charles in 4 local governments in Edo South. So what the PDP today need to defeat the APC party or the APC administration? You take the governorship to the minority majority because the chunk of votes always come from Isha. That's what Chief Anene did, at least for the PDP of blessed memory. Look, by the time I'm given the ticket, I win by God's grace on the 19th. Every shaman will vote PDP. My popularity, I'm Ken the Rice Man. There is no house, there is no human being I have not touched his life in Edo State, whether living or dead, in the past 20 years. Edo people are waiting for my emergence. Even Governor Adamo Shomole and Governor Obaseki, they know the godson and the godfather. They know if I take the party's ticket, it's self-inane. That is, it is all over for APC. Because every human being in Edo State will want to say, Ken, thank you for your kindness. Thank you for the rights you have shared over the years. Thank you for the schools you have built and repaired. Thank you for the church you are giving. Thank you for the hospital bills you have paid. Thank you for everything you have done. The orphans I have taken care of in the past 20 years. Thank you for the military men and women in uniform in Peseta schools that pay less 20% of school fees in the past 20, 25 years. I have served my country. I'm proud to be a Nigerian. I'm prouder to be an Edo indigene. I'm very proud to be an Ishama. I'm very proud to take my sword from the Oba of Benin. I tell you, Seun, this election will be about issue. It will be about integrity. It will be about who you are. It will be about your past. It will be about what you can do. Look, the era of imposition is gone and gone forever. This is why I say God bless Secondus administration and God bless our government. I'm grateful for what our governors, the position they've taken. I'm grateful to Secondus and his team for what they are doing. If you look, I appeal to the delegates of our party. The only way to win is for us to show maturity and equity and justice and fair play. As soon as the electing Edo electors see that the primaries of PDP is free and fair, devoid of rancor and of sentiments, I tell you, no, even the game is already decided. Even the APC, they know.
So, Mr. Maswagbon, being a philanthropist, being an educationist, a lawyer, we all know that those are not enough to being a governor. What do you think you possess? What are the attributes that makes you think that you are the kind of person that the Edo people need as their governor?
Sure, I'm the kind of person. I will tell you why. Look at my past. My past qualifies me more than Ogbede Ama, more than Gideon. Look, I respect Ogbede, I respect Gideon, but they don't have my records. My record speaks for me. One, I'm a lawyer. Two, I have been running my private business. I've never done federal government contract. I've never done state government contract. I've never done local government contract. And one person that have created wealth. I will make Edo great again. Edo up and there will come back again. The glory of Edo shall return under my watch. I've been prepared to be governor. For 15 years, I've been wanting to be the governor of Edo State. What does that mean spiritually? What does that mean metaphorically? It means that I've got a plan, I've got a mission, I've got a method, I've got the answers to Edo. Our schools are bad in Edo today. There are no rules in our school. Look, running school, I've been running school for 20 years. At times I don't pay salaries because at times I pay. It's difficult to make money in our poor state of economy and run a business without doing government contract, without being patronized by government. You know what it is that 50% of students in my school are on scholarship? When a policeman dies in service in Nigeria, and if they're in my school, their children don't pay school fees. More than 20 officers that pass through, policemen, military men and women in uniform, they have 20% off. What service can be greater than that? Power and politics is about compassion. It is about love. It is about who you are. I have the experience. I have been prepared.
So let's look at what is obtainable in your party right now. I understand that internally in your party, you are not a favorite because most of those, the power brokers in your party do think that someone not from your senatorial district should be their flag bearer. Isn't that a major problem in the first place? If you don't get a ticket, isn't the dream dashed already?
I will tell you, God bless Chief Lucky Binejo, Chief Tommy Kimiro Mondekwesi, and our major leaders. In Lucky's house last year, a major decision was taken that no zoning. That decision was taken because Lucky and other leaders, Chief Tommy Kimiro Mondekwesi, and many others, Ogiadome, they felt that there should be a departure from imposition. Let the best candidate emerge. But I know there are some traders among Edo State leadership, my political merchants, that is trying to tailor a process in favor of a particular candidate, but it's going to fail because the delegates themselves know what is at what risk there is. That except we present a popular candidate in Kenneth Imaswagbon, the rice man, who cuts across the 18 local government, have touched the very weak of the society, that have helped the poor, that have paid school fees. Look, Sheon, go to UBTH. A hospital there is named after me. Why? Because every year I go to the UBTH teaching hospital, I pay medical bills for those who can't afford it. I am a son of a poor man. I saw poverty. And now I am comfortable. I want to make Edo a place of comfort where I will build schools.
All right.
Roads will be built.
So, Mr. Imaswagbon, you have tasted, you've been out in and out of different political parties at different times based on your grievances. Should you lose the primaries of the PDP this time around, would you be leaving the PDP?
Before I give you my answer, Sheon, I will not stop running to be governor of Edo State until I reach my goal. I am going to, make no mistake, I am a very resilient person. Those who know me from my school days know me. I am a courageous man. My courage is as strong as steel. I will be governor. God has told me that. No man born of woman will stop me. I can tell you I'm unstoppable. Because I have God, I have Edo people backing me. Go and take the data.
But Mr. Imaswagbon, did God tell you when you're going to be governor? Is it this time around? When did God tell you exactly?
Yes, time and season belongs to God. God knows when, but I'm applying myself to time.
All right, quickly, if you may answer the question I asked about these primaries, should you lose the primary, would you leave the PDP?
Yes, great question. Let me tell you, Sheon, we can win now. If what Secondus is doing, if he carries that through, and it's a free and fair primaries, we're having the Congress on the 9th. I'm flying it on that. I'm flying into the country on the 9th of Tuesday. I may not be able to make the Congress, but if they allow a free and fair Congress, and the primary is free and fair, and I know I will win anything free and fair, I am going to beat Ogbede, silly. I'm going to demystify Gideon. They don't have my trappings and my rating and my public appeal to the electors. If they don't badger the electors, if they don't muzzle them, if they allow a free and fair process, of course, if I'm defeated, I will shake and hug whosoever wins, and I will contribute my campaign material money to whosoever wins. But under one condition, it must be under a free and fair process.
Okay, so look, we need to go now, Mr. Imaswagbon. So are you saying, Mr. Imaswagbon, you seem to think that out of the three of you who are contesting for the ticket of the PDP, you are perhaps the one that can confront a Godwin Obaseki, for example, should Godwin Obaseki emerges as the flag bearer of the APC?
Yes, quickly, Sheon. Ihama cannot win. You know why he cannot win? It will be a wrong and the weakest strategy of PDP to feed Ihama. Ihama is from the same place, senatorial district, from Obaseki. He is actually from Oredo. Do you think Edo voters will vote and Ihama against Obaseki? Never. It's not going to happen. That would be dreaming. Do you think Ihama can defeat Izeamu? Izeamu is not here. We've been allies. It's a machine. But I am the only one that can demolish Izeamu machine an Obaseki political machine because
All right.
let me land before you take me off. We've done this before.
Just give me 1 minute, and we'll go on a break. When we come back, I'll allow you for your last word on the program. Don't go anywhere. More on the battle for the Edo State governorship seats up next on the program. We'll be joined by the incumbent governor, Godwin Obaseki. He joins me after now. Join us again, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. Let's get back to the conversation on tonight. We'll be focusing on Edo governorship election. Let's get our final moment with Mr. Kenneth Imaswagbon. He's a PDP aspirant, one of the three jostling for the party's ticket. Thank you so much, Mr. Imaswagbon. Let's get your final thought on the program. You were going to, let me allow you to land on that thought you were on before we went on the break.
I recommend strongly that we should go and apply the kind of tactics we used against PDP in 2009. I, myself and Isaiah, we were the one that led the opposition against PDP. We said, okay, how can we defeat PDP? I was in the game as an aspirant. I was stepped down 2 days to by Chitom Ikimi and many others then, that the party needed a popular candidate, though from minority, the Isako and Edo North Senatorial District, that they needed someone that had the popularity and the appeal. And the only way we could defeat a federal party and a state-led party was to get a popular candidate. And I was stepped down. 6 of us were stepped down. Charles Sidausa is alive. Asked him. He was stepped down. I was stepped down. I would have taken the ticket, but they appealed to me that they needed a popular candidate. My advice to our party is that it's the same strategy. Build a popular candidate against Obaseki or Odubu or Ogemoyi. We will take the day, irrespective of the zone or the senatorial. The electorate wants a popular person who can address the issue of hunger. I will do that. I'm tired of sharing rice. I want to plant rice. I want to engage people in employment. I'm tired of paying medical bills. I want to build our hospitals. I'm tired of seeing Edo people rob. Some of them, not all of them. I want to create jobs for the young men and women in Edo. I have all my life been creating jobs in Abuja. And there's no Abuja citizen that will not vote for me. They come to me, they say, oh, we pray. Let I don't know what you are doing so that they give you tickets. It will be all over for APC.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kenneth Imaswagbon, and we wish you all the very best as your party and yourself go into that primaries in the coming days. Thank you so much, Kenneth Imaswagbon, one of the aspirants of the PDP ahead of the governorship election. Let's switch gears now. We're still talking about Edo governorship race. This time around, let's look into the All Progressives Congress, the ruling party. Let me show you some of those who are gunning for the ticket of the APC. In the lead is the incumbent governor, Godwin Obaseki, Osage Izeyamo, Pius Odubu, Chris Ogenwanyi, Osaro Obaze, and Matthew Idokreyawen. Those are the people that are jostling for the ticket of the APC. Let's speak with the incumbent, the governor of Edo State, who is also an aspirant in this case. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, Governor of Edo State, for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Shemun.
So you're wearing two hats tonight as an aspirant and also as the governor, because we would like to touch on governance issues and also your bid in wanting the ticket of the APC. First and foremost, you think you deserve a re-election?
Oh, definitely, Shemun, definitely. If you know where Edo was in 2016, when I assumed office, and where it is today, you'll agree we've made tremendous strides. But those strides are not sufficient. They're not where we want to be. As at 2016, when I took over office, Edo was topping the list of people who were being trafficked from this country. Human trafficking was a big issue. We had, at a point, over 30,000 Edo citizens in Libya waiting to cross over. These are people who had lost hope, people who couldn't find jobs, and they just thought that anywhere else but home will be it. Today, human trafficking is almost history. Because what we did was to understand why people had lost hope, why these kids did not want to stay at home. We found out it was because they were poorly educated, the educational system had collapsed, and because there were no jobs, there were no businesses, or very few businesses that could provide the job opportunities. So that defined how we then approach governance. And 3 years on, it's clear the evidence is out there. We have reenacted education in Edo State. We are making education what it should be, particularly public education. And, everyone in the world is attesting to that. The World Bank, the Nigerian Union of Teachers have given awards to that effect. Today, a child in Edo State, a child in a primary school in Edo State, after 3 terms in school can read and write. We have trained over 12,000 teachers and given them digital platforms so that I can tell when a teacher is in class. I can tell if a teacher has completed his or her lesson notes for that day. I can tell how children, how they are doing in school to ensure that they are learning. And we're proud of what we've done with education in Edo, particularly Edo Best. And with the kind of education we are now giving our kids, the new generation of Edo citizens we're building, there'll be no need to leave home. There'll be no need to travel. They'll be confident, well-trained children with open minds that can now deal with the world they're facing. So we've done well. We've laid the foundations. 3 years, 4 years is certainly not enough to make those fundamental changes you need to on a sustainable basis. I need another term to consolidate on those reforms which we have started.
Are you very, very desperate about it?
No, I've never been desperate about anything in life.
Because you said you have laid a foundation,
yes,
and you needed to consolidate on it. That's what you've said.
Yes.
So should you get it? It's going to be okay for you. Should you not? How does that come to you?
I will not walk away, because walking away will not be serving God. I mean, I have 300,000 children today whose lives will be fundamentally changed by me being in office. Should I walk away from them? I have young men and women who were training for jobs. We're building a digital city. I'm giving hope. Should I walk away from them? So walking away is not under any consideration.
So you push as hard as you can?
Definitely.
So,
definitely.
I mean, let me take you up quickly on some of the things you said. You promised at a campaign that you're going to provide 200,000 jobs in 4 years.
Yes.
How many of those have you provided?
At the last count, and this was a survey done on an independent basis by Business Day, the newspaper, and this was about 6 months ago. They authenticated through our Edo Jobs platform that we had created about 157,000. That was about 5 months ago, 6 months ago. And it's kept growing. Unfortunately, we had COVID-19, the COVID-19 pandemic about 4 months ago, which certainly has slowed that process. Yeah, we may not be at 200,000 exactly, but clearly we are over 80, 90% to 200,000 jobs.
So because you were very confident monitoring your campaign at the time, that seems to be your major, because 200,000 jobs seems to be the posters that you find everywhere, dotting every nook and cranny of the Edo cities. Yes. And one would think that was your campaign mantra. Precisely. At the time, 200,000 jobs. A lot of your opponents and your critics were saying, we want to see just how you're going to provide that. Having provided according to some of the statistics, because the jobs statistics are not exactly saying that Edo State has improved so much in the last 2 years or so in terms of unemployment rate. But would you say you have done well?
In the circumstance, we've done fantastically well. Fantastically well. But for COVID-19, if we had finished the survey and allotment of the 100,000 hectares of new oil palm plantations, which is in the bowl, that easily would have created another 50,000 jobs. So we were clear that where did we think we would get the jobs from? First, by getting young people to understand technology. So if you come to the Edo State Technology Hub today, you find anyone who's any company that's worth it, that's what is ranking, is there. Cisco, Google, Facebook, everybody training young men and women. These are people who are doing coding, people who are investing in their own businesses. We're supporting a lot of SMEs. As government, we're also employing. We have Edo Jobs. We're matching employers with job seekers. We're giving training. We're giving support, particularly in areas like agriculture, where we have the agripreneur scheme, where we've put over 10,000 hectares of land under cultivation, and we have in excess of 3,000 people, taking those opportunities. So we across the spectrum, from technology to education to agriculture to services, logistics, transportation, we've provided jobs.
So, and you think presently that your re-election bid is not being threatened right now, especially because of your internal party crisis?
It's not being threatened from the perspective that if Edo people are allowed to express themselves, if the APC members are allowed to express themselves and follow the laid-down party constitution and regulations, we shouldn't have a problem. It's very clear.
But you fear that may not happen?
Well, from the conversations, discussions that are currently going on, we're trying to make sure it doesn't happen, because it will not be in the interest of our party.
What gives you the impression that that may not happen?
Well, I am optimistic because as you know very well, Sheung, last week, some governors of the party were in Lagos to see the leader of the party. They went to see the chairman of the party. So conversations are on, so that we can build internal peace and harmony within our party. We're the ruling party. It's ours to lose, and really, there's really no reason why we should lose.
Have you met the national chairman, Adams Oshiomhole, recently?
Not recently.
Face-to-face?
Not recently, face to face.
Have you spoken with him recently?
Not recently.
Are you optimistic that you might be able to resolve your rift with him anytime soon?
I do not have a rift with him as a person.
But you are not in good terms with him?
I just do not agree with how he is, at some decisions he's taking as it relates to the party. It's not in the interest of our party. You see, from our quarrel has been that we're doing things that are outside the constitution of our party. The logic of democracy is that it's the people that should drive democracy. Democracy should be built bottom up and not top down. Democracy should start from the base. So in the last 4 years, going 4 years, we in Edo have restructured our party. We've built from the units, through the wards, through the local governments, to the state. And the executives at every level are in harmony, and they've been working hard. So our party is very strong in the state. And the quarrel is, look, the party is not allowed to make its decisions from the base. Decisions are imposed from the top. And that's not auguring well. It's creating, disharmony within the system.
That's the bottom line.
Bottom line.
Because you said at some point that you were some of the reasons why you're not in alignment with some of the opposition in the party is because you are not willing to give Edo people's money to a political godfather. Is he one of those?
Well, we have, our politics has evolved. Our democracy is maturing. The type of politics we played in 1999 cannot be the same type of politics in the year 2020. Today, 21 years after, even a child who is 21 is now an adolescent. He wants to do things differently. So you cannot continue to restrict the political space. You've got to open it up. You can't say, okay, the reward for political participation, for patronage, is to now have non-state actors beginning to take over state resources. We had a situation when I took over. My local government, Oredo local government, the total internal IGR, the internally generated revenues that accrued to Oredo local government as at December 2016 was under 10 million naira. And this was a local government that was owing salaries and pensions. Today, with that same local government, because of the restructuring, earns almost 100 million naira a month. So those actors, those political actors, who used to benefit from that arrangement, you don't expect them to be happy. But, the greater number of people in Edo State are happy for it.
Governor, you've not mentioned the names. Since you mentioned, a lot of people were wondering whether at some point you're going to mention the names of the political actors who you said were wanted the monies of Edo State, and you were willing, and that's the reason why they were fighting you.
Well, are they fighting me? That's the issue. If so, who is fighting me?
I mean, you're obviously. I mean, the headlines are there to tell who exactly you are up against.
Clearly, those who are, say whatever they are saying, clearly are not happy with what we've done, right? And so the issue, to answer your question, I'm not going to be naming names. It's like, okay, there are interests, there are people who are saying Obaseki should not come back. And when you ask them, why don't you want Obaseki back? And I've not found any concrete reason. They haven't said, we don't want Obaseki back because we don't like his educational policy. We don't want him because he's not doing well in infrastructure.
They said you shut the hospital that was 70-something% done, and you did not open it up. That's one of the grievances.
Well, so I rather want to talk about how to move Edo forward, not focus on the mistakes of the past.
That was a mistake, right?
Well, clearly, if a hospital, in your view, was 70-something% complete, and we now have to deal with and respond to COVID, would we have been able to? So I rather want to look at the future.
Because I look at one of the things that you said also recently about, it seems you have a fear about the mode of primaries. And you raised an issue about the circumstances surrounding the mode of primaries. Your party at the national level says they want a direct mode of primaries. And you said direct mode of primaries does not augur well in the COVID era.
I'm sure there are two separate issues, two very, very distinct issues. One is political, and one is public health related. In terms of primaries, I'm a true party man. It doesn't really matter to me what mode of primaries. I'm confident enough, given what we have done in the party, that we'll win any mode of election if honestly and transparently conducted. But we have our party constitution, and it's clear as to how how primaries should be conducted. And our party constitution is clear because democracy builds bottom up. The party constitution says that the state executive will determine the type of primaries they want. It's the state exco that conducts the primaries. The national just comes in to supervise what the state does. And our constitution is clear. And our constitution says you can either have direct, indirect, or consensus. And the state exco has opted for indirect. So I just think that, that's the political
Let's take a breather, Governor Obaseki, for a moment. We'll take a break, but when we come back, we allow Governor Obaseki to talk about his re-election bid, the crisis in the APC, and moving Edo State forward. That's going to be next, everyone. Join us again. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's get back to the conversation with the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki. Thank you so much, Governor Obaseki, for coming tonight. And as well, candidate Obaseki, because you're gunning for the ticket of your party. Let's get back. You were talking about the mode of primaries. You said you're not afraid of any mode of primaries, but you were explaining on 2 points where you stand.
Yes. So I've said first there is the political issue as it relates to the primaries, and then there's a public health issue. Our response to COVID-19 from Edo, as you are aware, Shehu, has been based on data and proper research. We have responded based on information. And we commissioned an epidemiological survey before we had our index case. And I don't know if you can show that survey. You will see that the survey clearly told us in April that Edo will peak, COVID-19 will peak in Edo about the 28th of June. And what we should do is ensure that we try and flatten that curve and reduce the projected number of infected persons. And we've taken several steps, including investing in isolation centers and focusing on screening and testing. In Edo today, we have 3 PCR laboratories. And what we've tried to do to make sure that with the risk communication messages we're putting out there to our people to ensure that they wash their hands regularly, to ensure that they keep physical and social distancing, and also make sure that they wear their face masks. That is why we made it compulsory for people to wear face masks in Edo. But despite all of those efforts, we've not been able to conquer the trend. If you look at if you look at the reported cases,
okay,
our index case.
That's going to be the next.
Precisely.
Okay. So
our index case was on the 23rd of March, right? It took for 60 days, up to the 17th of May, for us to have the first 100 cases, right? It took another 10 days for us to move from 100 to 200 cases. It's now taking 5 days to move from 200 to 300 cases. And you can see, so the virus is, at that, critical stage where it's spreading rapidly. And it doesn't make, it will be jeopardizing the health and safety of the citizens of Edo State to allow elections, primary elections, to be conducted in 200 locations on the same day.
But you are the governor of the state. You are the chief executive of the state. You are aware of this. Have you passed this information to the national body of the party?
Certainly have.
Have you advised them?
We have advised them. We've written. In fact, we had to promulgate, amend our infectious diseases regulation to ensure that we don't have more than 20 people gathered together in a place. But for the purpose of political, politics, we've said fine. We don't have the resources to, and we will not advise the regulatory body, INEC, to expose its staff to, supervising, elections in 200 or more locations at this point in time. The option is for us to have the elections conducted in one location where people can be screened, where we can disinfect the environment and make sure there's enough social, physical distancing is maintained.
Would you participate in a direct, if your party insists that they're going ahead with a direct mode, would you participate in it?
Well, I will not violate the party, our party constitution.
But you are caught between the laws you signed
they're two separate,
and the fact that your party says...
They're separate things. First, I don't expect my party to behave unlawfully. I mean, this is a law to protect the health and safety of our citizens.
But we understand,
don't forget,
Governor, we understand that your party has transmitted the mode of primaries to INEC.
Well, I've said even that has a problem because it didn't follow our constitution. So on both counts, we have issues. Shell, politics will come and go. Well, so we should not risk the lives of our citizens on the altar of politics today. Look at the cases I'm having. I have 350 as of today. And my projection is that it's going into thousands. Should I, as a responsible governor, sit back and say, because of politics, I'll allow my people to die? I can't. Even if I did, God will never forgive me. So there's an issue of, order, of constitution, law, and politics, and there's an issue of public safety. And we must learn to balance them.
So when you met with the president, did he endorse you?
What do you think, Shell? From the body language and the relationships, and will the president now come and take a photograph with me and allow, and share my form with me if he's not happy that I'm seeking re-election?
Well, a lot of people say, he received you because you're the governor, not that he endorsed you. That's what your opponent is saying.
Well, let them go and ask him to receive them.
So because, this probably just also supports the notion of what Chief John Oyegun has said, that the president said yourself and the governor of Ondo State should be given a chance of first refusal in the race.
So in most democracies, that is the practice. Look at the United States. How many Republicans are contesting against President Trump? Right? Donald Trump. You see, because the party is in power. The party, particularly when the party is doing well, you want to support what you already have. You don't want to create dissension and weaken what you have. That is not to say there should not be a contest. Politics and democracy, it's about contestation. But as a party, why would you want to upset and create so much dissension within your ranks if there's no need to? If Godwin Obaseki has not done well, he's not been able to pay salaries, he's not been able to pay pensions, he's not been able to build infrastructure, he's not been able to pursue the party programs and policies, then you can argue that, this governor may not be able to deliver to the party. But I'm not sure that's the case in Edo today.
Yeah, the institution we put right there on the screen of the University of Ibadan,
Right.
that you read classics.
Right.
Is there any case of forgery?
Well, it's so absurd that people can talk about forgery of certificates from the premier university in this country. The University of Ibadan is just less than 100 kilometers from Lagos. If you think there's an issue, then why not call the university? The alumni association of the university has spoken about it. So it's nonsense. But it's not surprising that the people who are making such accusations, who are leveling such accusations, themselves I'm sure themselves think that it's so easy because they may not have gone through proper schools, that it's so easy to go and forge certificates of, high quality universities and, get away with it.
Let's conclude the conversation, and on this, I think we should anchor by asking you, are you afraid of Osage Izeyam?
Why should I be? We contested before. It wasn't, the last time I contested, he was my opponent from the PDP, and the votes are there. I beat him. That is when I had no track record as a governor. Now with the track record as a governor, I don't have any fears. But
should you lose the party ticket, would you support anybody who wins?
If the process is free, transparent, and credible, why not? But if it's not, why should I?
Governor Godwin Obaseki, thank you so much indeed for coming tonight.
Thank you.
What a moment for you to speak about some of these very touchy issues that you have spoken about tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I wish you the very best in the coming days.
Thank you.
Governor Godwin Obaseki is being our guest tonight on the program and ahead of the governorship primaries in the state. And that's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimbale. Bye-bye.